just because it feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not good. I think so often, not only on film, but in life, we so want to feel comfortable, but that doesn't always bring the best results. If I look back, I think some of my more successful things, in my point of view, have been the things I've been most nervous about and probably most unsure when I began. There's something about jumping off that cliff, which means you end up going for broke and probably end up taking a few more risks, if you know what I mean.
Where you want to get to in life is never as important as the way you want to live your life.
You suffer from a bit of anxiety when you're in front of the camera, but that you name your confident personality Frank,
Yeah, oh my God.
and your anxious personality Charles.
What happened to me in film was it was random. It would appear sometimes, and that was something I'd never encountered. I understand if you're scared of heights, you're always scared of heights, but some days I'd be fine, and then some days I would just get nervous and then it'd get in my head. So I don't know if you guys know Anthony Robbins, you know, the
motivational dude, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does motivate. He's not really a motivational guy, actually. He's really quite brilliant in breaking down how we think, the patterns of behavior we have. And so I met him, we were mates. I never went to one of his workshops. We were just friends. And I rang him, I said, mate, I want to come to you professionally. I need to ask you a question. He said to me, what the biggest mistake people make with fear is saying, oh, I'm scared, I hate this, get it out, I don't want you near my life, this is not helping me, and you get obviously really wound up. So he said, you've got to remember the times where you feel confident, name that character that feels scared, and as you're walking on a set, realize that the fear is good, that it got you where you are, that it makes you work. The fear sometimes actually goes, oh, I better work really hard on this film. So he said, that fear, embrace it, work really hard, and then on that day when you walk on set, Charles, thanks, but I don't need you right now. And then be frank. When the things most matter, you so desperately don't want to destroy it for being scared that you can really destroy it.
Sure.
When I hosted the Oscars, I was like, wow, man, this is a billion people. And I just thought, okay, whatever you do, just remember, you're a kid from Moorooga in Sydney, you're hosting the Oscars, have some fun, you know? And luckily for me, those turning points, I've somehow always stuck to that idea of just having fun. I genuinely like to be friendly with everyone. In the Australian film industry, everyone talks to everyone, and if they're not making fun of you, then they really don't like you. So there's a problem. And I also, when I first went to America, I noticed there was an unspoken, and it's not, people tell stories of don't look this actor in the eye and all that. I've never heard that before, but there is a slightly unwritten rule of leave the actor alone, let them do their thing. It could be a process, it could be because of their style, I'm not sure. And I always try, literally on the first day, to break that down because I feel self-conscious in that environment. I'd much prefer a grip, making fun of me than calling me Mr. Jackman and then saying nothing until they say, thank you, it's been great working with you. You know, I much prefer to feel we're in it together.
Because I didn't come into this business, my first job was 26, I did not come in fully formed. I always feel that I'm a work in progress, and there is absolutely, I promise you, no way I would be standing on this stage with this extraordinary honor if it wasn't for the many, many people.
And I know it's easy, and you hear people all the time thanking their team, their agents, and it always feels like perfunctory. Well, when I came to Hollywood, I was about 30 years old. I wasn't a kid. I felt I understood people a little bit. I had no idea, really. I met 1,000 people. And 3 of those people I met are still with me today, 15 years later. And my whole approach to meeting them and trying to decide who I was going to work with was the Aussie good bloke rule, because I had no idea if anyone could do their job. I mean, everyone seemed great to me. So I just applied, if they seem like a good bloke, if they seem like they're true to the word, if they seem like they're genuine, then I'm going to go with it.
Raising 5 children alone, there must have been some system of organization.
Now I find it hard to believe how well organized it was. It was chores written up, we had chore sheets. So 5 kids, 5 work days to the week. The weekends were a little different, but so once a week your job would be the dishwasher. Once a week would be dinner, so you cook dinner. Once a week would be the lunches. Once a week would be the washing. Monday nights would be the communal clearing of the clean washing on the table. Saturday mornings we had chores. Sundays was always Dad observed the Sabbath, so we had to go to Sunday school, and then we had Sunday lunch. It was very, very organised. And from age 8, I was doing my own washing, ironing my own clothes. I mean, I'm sure there's other kids who did it, but to me it was normal. To this day, if someone cooks for me, I automatically get up to clean, because if you cook, you don't clean. If you clean, you don't cook. And all these things that I learned from my dad, and it was just survival for him. You know, he had 5 kids and a full-time job. Everyone had to pitch in and do something.
He had 5 kids, a full-time job, and he traveled.
Yeah, he traveled. I think I started acting to try and work myself out. I don't think I ever thought about becoming an actor. I stumbled into an acting class, and I remember thinking, hey, everyone should do this. This is kind of the breathing, the learning to just let go of yourself, have fun, learning to trust your instincts and not be afraid of what other people think about that. These are tools for life. I probably thought that was going to be the end of it. This is like a good self-help class, you know. And I was probably 26 before I got my first job. So it took me a while. I was a slow learner. Well, in general, when I was younger, everything, if I can be critical of myself, just mattered too much. I mean, not just acting. I can look back now and go, oh, come on, you know, it was a game of cricket. It wasn't the end of the world, but at the time it felt like that, and I think at the beginning of my career it all felt like that. If I didn't get a gig, or if the gig didn't go well, or the other thing for me has been choices, making choices. I learned the hard way sometimes, doing things that I didn't feel were right, went against my gut on it. That's hard, and I really try to avoid that now. Even and actually, failure, if you really believe in it, when you say yes, is fine.
I'm with you. If you know why you did things,
Right.
and you're kind of pure and you're in that, you can live whatever the outcome is.
Yeah.
Because you can't control everything.
Right.
So you can only control your intention and your kind of, your good impulse, your degree of engagement. When you're free of the idea of the result, sometimes the engagement can run so much deeper because you're not preoccupied and thinking ahead.
Yeah.
You're not getting ahead of yourself. You're doing this for this.
It's a surreal experience. I'm a kid from a suburb called Wahroonga in the northern suburbs of Sydney. I have so many people to thank. I am incredibly, incredibly grateful.
You've believed in me when I couldn't. You've loved me with a passion and a depth that I didn't even know existed, and I don't think I even felt that I deserved. You have pushed and encouraged me when I was scared to venture out. You have smiled me into smiling. You have sung me into singing. You have loved me into loving. And like everything I do in my life, I share this with you. I love you. Thank you all.